All right, we're back.
Welcome.
Welcome to you, my man.
Yes.
Good to see you.
You as well.
Man, I am always so thankful for this part of the day.
Oh, yeah, it's good.
I
Good, man.
don't know if I can say that enough. It's I looked at my watch at like 1 o'clock. I'm like, dang it.
Well, it's like today I had
some time.
a ton of stuff to get done at work, being gone past couple of days, and I was just like, oh, crap, I got to eat. I got to go.
Yeah, man. It creeps up on you, right? When you're not expecting it.
Because last time I looked at the clock, it's 1 o'clock. Okay, I'll knock this out, got this, check some emails, do that, pull some reports, and I'm like, oh, God, it's 2:40.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Well, I sure am glad that you can make it over here from your work, man.
Oh, yeah, man.
That's cool.
Good.
Yeah, dude. It's been a long week for me. How about you?
That was a long week, but a great
yeah,
one, man.
Yeah, I would agree. Good. Mine was long and trying, but it was also very rewarding.
Yeah.
How about you?
It was.
Yeah, the same?
Good. Got to go up north for the daughter's state gymnastics meet. She kicked ass.
Did you have fun?
Oh, she had a blast.
Good.
Still, and it's funny as we say this, did great. Got 9th overall in state in her level. Had her best score she ever had. Team got 5th. They did great.
Crushed it, huh?
Sadly we couldn't watch the other girls because limited capacity only, stuff like that. But
yeah.
she did great. But the inner athlete in her still like, I could have done this or that, and it's but she sees that now. I think that comes from, I guess, her mother and I. It's not that we put that into her, but I guess that's just genetically ingrained in her from, 2 former collegiate athletes to that.
She doesn't have a choice.
So it's like, it's good to hear, and it's not, it's like, oh, you're too young to start thinking about like, this and that, but it's good that I think as she gets older, it started the athletic spirit and that kind of, okay, I could do this. Oh, I could be, those type of things are coming. And I think that just brings out the athlete in her.
Yeah.
We're not trying to push that on her. Just let it naturally occur.
Yeah.
Because, there are some athletes who just don't care.
Yeah.
But they're phenomenal. But then you got those that are just driven. So we'll just let it take its course. But it was great. Good time. Little mini vacation away.
Yeah.
Landed in the city on Sunday. Went up to Chicago and walked around there and all that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah. So was that a 2-day event then?
So state was just 1 day.
Just 1 day.
1 day. It was a couple hours of the day. And the people running it efficiently, smooth. Man, we were out and they were starting awards before they even had like on the, you're on a schedule. Awards were probably started 15 minutes early. We were out and it's like, man, we were out way earlier. We could have gone to the city.
Yeah.
That day too, but it's like we had no clue. Never been to state before.
Yeah.
Last year, state got canceled because the madness kicked off. I think it was either a week or 2 before we were supposed to go. All got canceled.
That's right. I keep forgetting that this is 1 year with the pandemic.
And then we're like, maybe we'll just go up and we'll go into the city. And then that's when Chicago was having, they were getting hit hard, and we're like, maybe we shouldn't go.
Yeah, man. So did you just turn around and come home right after then?
No, went to the city, came back to where we were at in the small town, stayed one more night, just because we didn't know how long we were going to be. We could have driven back in all reality and stuff, then we wouldn't have hit the ice storm.
Oh, did you really? You got that, huh?
Yeah.
Well,
but it's crazy. Started off with that ice storm. Then we get probably near Vandalia, Illinois, tiny town to those of you who may not know. And it's like skies parted, sunny as can be, blue skies, nothing. But it was funny because 30 minutes prior, the car was covered in ice. Then we get there, no ice in the car.
No kidding.
Oh, there's a 1/4 inch ice sitting on the side mirrors.
Man. My goodness.
Yeah.
But a heck of a storm.
But yeah, it was cool though in the city too to see Lake Michigan. Looked like an ocean. Just there's some winter storm somewhere up north pushing. I'm talking, if you were a surfer and you got a dry suit to keep you warm, you could have hit some nice waves.
That's really amazing, isn't it? That piece of water or that body of water, I should say, if you've never seen it, from Chicago, it really does look like you're standing on one of the coasts.
Yeah, and that's what my daughter, she goes, no, it's Ocean, Michigan. I'm calling it, and she, no, it's Lake Michigan.
She's sort of right, though.
But it is kind of eerie because, we didn't go out.
Said eerie.
I didn't go out. But in the sense of you look out and you don't see any land.
Yeah.
But to conceptualize as an adult that's a lake.
Yeah.
And then you see way off in the distance giant barge boats that aren't normally found in lakes. When we see lakes, like, oh, look at the pontoon and the little speedboat.
Sure, yeah.
You see that stuff in an ocean. So it's like just crazy to look out there and you don't see an end when it's a lake.
Do you happen to know offhand how long it takes a typical boat ride to go from one shoreline to the other?
Of Lake Michigan?
Yeah.
I have no idea. That'd be interesting now. Well, I know you can go up from the northeast and go all the way through the Great Lakes. That's how they used to, the pirates and whatnot and smugglers used to go.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I've never thought about it before, but it is really just, it's enormous. That's the only word I can say.
No, it's nuts. And then saw the green water for the river.
Oh, yeah. They did that again?
They did it. They said they weren't going to.
I didn't think they would.
And lo and behold, I just saw an article. I'm like, oh, yeah. So
this is for St. Patrick's Day, everybody. Whenever you hear this, it'll be a little after. But up in Chicago, which is about 4.5 hours north of us, they dye their water in the canals and everything. This
green.
Crazy green color for St. Patrick's.
Beautiful. Like, if you see my drink here, a lot more. Like, it's pretty surreal how much pride goes into it, but we only drove over the bridge to see it because we had spent so much at other places. So
I'd like to see the how-to when they make that. That'd be really neat to see how much dye they've got to use and where they enter it.
Yeah, my daughter's like, I just figured a couple of drops of food coloring, a little bit more.
So cute.
And I'm like, we'd be buying out stores.
Yeah,
everybody squirts.
Yeah, man.
But no, it was a good just getaway trip, good time. Proud of all those girls, and it was cool to watch these other athletes, and man, just a good time.
Yeah,
just fun time to be alive in life with the madness that's gone on the past year, and being able to do something that got kind of taken away from those kids last year. So it's good.
Yeah, it's good to get back to at least close to normal, right?
Yeah,
and I think that we're well on our way.
Mm-hmm.
At least it feels like it when I'm out and about. The other day, my wife and I decided to go, and we don't really drink, but we decided to go and have a beer at a local brewery that we really enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
And we just did it by ourselves and without the kids. And it was the first night we'd gotten to go out or it's daytime actually, like a day date, in, probably a year.
Yeah.
To where we felt comfortable with going out and being like, okay, we're not going to be a nuisance by being out.
Yeah.
And we're not being nuisanced by anybody else being out. So, let's try it. It felt so different, but it was like this eerie feeling of like, oh, I've been here before, but I don't remember when.
Yes. We ate out for the first time, too. We went to, not promoting them, but spent a few hours, three maybe more at American Girl.
Jeez.
For the little one, and we ate lunch at their cafe. Gave her the full experience. That's what it was about. And
it's cool, they're still doing that.
Yes, they got half the place is blocked off, and you were a good chunk away from people.
Sure,
so doing what they're supposed to, and good food too. Nice staff, everyone very friendly at that store. So if anyone ever goes up there, kudos to them.
That's good.
Great people. But we had neither, and the last time was exactly a year prior at our sister-in-law's 30th surprise birthday party.
Gotcha.
And we were even then like, should we all be here? Because there's people in from across the country right now for this. And that's when it kind of kicked off, and we didn't know what was really going on. No science had really been laid yet. But I was the same way, like my nerves were up, but more so because we were in the city.
Yeah, right.
And, just
it does it to you. There's
millions of people that are around versus just, thousands in a sense.
Yeah, dude. Totally, man.
But it was like, oh, this is kind of nice to do this, but it's like, we're not rushing out to go do it again either, but it's nice that we kind of got to do that. She got to have the dolls. They have chairs for the dolls and little silverware and, all that kind of stuff. It was nice for her to have that and enjoy it,
Did you find yourself at all when you got back home sort of being very, very much so happy that you're at home, and much more so than you ever would have before? But that first trek out post-pandemic sort of, we'll say, for me had me a little anxious, a little on edge. And I remember in the car coming home thinking, I'm really glad I'm going home. Yeah. Like, there was just a part of me that it had been flip-flopped. It had been like, instead of that person that went out a lot and was very social, now I've become that person that's been in a lot and not very social. Mm-hmm. And I've got to relearn how to allow myself to enjoy that and not feel like I need to be back home doing nothing.
Yeah. It was, because on the way there, excitement, can't wait to get up there. GPS took us some oddball way.
Yeah.
Literally, I'm like, all right, we're not using the car GPS anymore. Going to the phone.
Right.
Went to the phone, and I'm like, okay, well, it's taking us where we need to. It took us some weird routes. So we're
Really?
already
Okay.
like, goofing with that. And we're like, all right. But we were just excited to be there. A little nervous when you get to, because we haven't stayed at a hotel,
Yeah, sure.
since this nonsense kicked off. So wasn't sure how the staff was going to be. Place was great. Cleanliness, you could tell that we're going above and beyond to make sure everyone was comfortable.
Nice.
So they did good on that. But yeah, it was so good. But on the way home, I was like, man, I can't wait to get home, because it's just like, it's home.
Well, you've been at home so much, right? And like, I guess myself even a little bit more than you, because with me not having a 9 to 5, I'm just at home all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Your position requires you to be in.
Yeah.
So even more so for myself, I guess, is that feeling of just that odd feeling of like not being in your safe place.
Yeah.
And not being safe, I guess. I don't know. It's a weird
You
feeling.
know, I have an office I can go hide if I really needed that.
Sure,
But
yeah.
like previous job when I was working from home, when we were pushed to go home, I loved it, because I was like, I don't ever want to go back to work. I can work from home. I get 10 times as much as done. I'm more productive, less distractions.
Yeah.
But not everyone is that way. Not everyone can work in, I guess, somewhat solitude of your own home.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, I know it's hard for people, but, I gave my former coworkers tips when you're working, like, don't be in your bedroom. Don't be in places where you don't hang out all the time. I made the basement the office, and outside the porches on nice days. Like, no different than you. You got spaces where you do stuff, and then there's space you just don't do that kind of stuff. That's reserved for.
Yeah, we're very fortunate to be able to have that, right?
Yeah.
Where we're not just stuck in the house with, with just 2 bedrooms, little bitty living room, kitchen combo, and, you don't have anywhere to go. We're blessed.
Even if you turn a corner into something, like, that's what I told coworkers. You got to do something. You can't, if you do it in your bedroom now, you'll mentally think it's your office all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's same, I think, with TVs in the bedroom. I really think it's a no.
We took ours out, I don't know, years ago.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I'm starting to think about it.
And we
man.
debated putting one back in, and then we're like, we could put it on the wall, because I had a stand and stuff that I built years ago and put in there. I'm like, no. Our daughter has one in, but like, kind of let it listen to it and then fall asleep and then, turn it off.
Right.
But yeah, moved it to the basement, and that's where it stayed.
Yeah, I think.
And I've not missed it. If I want to watch something, I just watch it on the iPad.
Yeah.
And I can have headphones on. Then it doesn't affect anybody else if they're asleep.
Right.
And let alone it's not bright light, because as crazy as it is, like, we don't shut the blinds in our house. I can see the neighbor's TV, and you would think they're outside with a light, and they are a good distance away, but their TV has got to be on full bright.
Sure, sure it is.
It's like,
right.
What are you guys doing over there?
Yeah, I just sort of figured that tied in, with what you were saying about nighttime, watching shows and whatnot. I think that it's, for me, it's such a comfortable thing. You hop in bed at night, throw on the TV, watch something, whatever. It's this wind down thing, but it doesn't really wind you down. It really sort of winds you up.
It can, but it
right?
doesn't, because it messes with the whole circadian rhythm. The blue light messes with you. Yeah,
all of a sudden, like, you're active again. Why are you active at 10 or 11 at night,
You might be, slowly getting down, which is nice. Like the iPads and phones, you can do the night mode, pulls the blue out, or if you got glasses, that you wear those. But yeah, like, it's too, when you're trying to go to sleep, what are you watching? Like, like we ordered the UFC fights how many weeks ago, and we're watching it, and it's just like, cool, they're over, and it's just like, okay, it's midnight, it's 1 o'clock, gotta go to sleep. Can't, because I just
wired.
Watched 5 hours of people beating the crap out of each other, and so you gotta also be smart with what you watch at night, things that do that, or like reading's good. I've done that a few times.
Yeah, that's my favorite. It's reading at night. That's the best, man.
I do mine in the morning. I put it back to the morning again of reading, like a cool down, doing like walk on the treadmill, ride the bike, or like stretch and read. It's been my thing, and I get lost in it. And next thing you know, it's like, oh crap, man, I've been reading for 30 plus minutes. It's like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So
I hear you, man. Yeah, for me, it's very medicinal.
Mm-hmm.
Reading at night, in the morning is fine, But I've got my other routines already in the morning, and they serve me pretty well. So I stick with reading at night. It just allows me to focus on something at my own pace. Allows me to focus on something at my own rate. If I'm just skimming through and it's something that's, not important, that's comforting.
It's
sometimes.
Something that you got full control over versus if we went back to the TV and you're playing something, you have no control over what is coming.
Yeah.
Yes, you can pick your show, but if there's a dark moment, you have no control over any aspect of that except for turning it on and off or like pausing it. Yeah. So you don't have the sensory control like reading. Oh, I'm going to read that again. Oh, I like that. Let me underline or highlight this. Oh, I'm going to take a note on this or mark this page or read and contemplate, reflect. Like that usually doesn't happen when you're watching something because you're glued and your senses are already there. You got the color, the flashes, sound, sight, all that kind of stuff. So I'll agree. Like when I, do in the morning, like I'll read doing some cardio or something and it's just like, I'm going to read that again. And I'll pull my highlighter out. And it's funny because if I look back in the book, I'm reading the highlights look horrible. I'm either walking or riding or like doing something. Yeah. And it's so horrible. I'm like, oop, got to mark that. Yeah. You know, but it allows me time to like find that and pull what I want more out of it versus, like if you were trying to unwind with like a show or start your day with that, you're not really in control of it.
Well, I think it's really cool when you start your day with intent and purpose. So like you either say or you think internally, this is what I'm going to do today. Yeah. Maybe not task, but this is how I want to feel. This is how I'm going to behave. This is how I'm going to respond. I'm not going to react. It's totally different.
No, that's the same thing. Like got things I've been doing every day, no different than before, but like making sure that I hit them, reading, doing some type of working out or stretching daily, meditation, whether actually following the app or doing my own meditation and stuff like that and things, so.
Yeah, dude. How's your meditation going?
Been good.
Yeah.
I've not been using the app as much. I've been just doing, I don't know what you'd actually call it, like meditation in the moment. So I'll do like sometimes when I'm finishing up doing like a cool down, I'll use that as meditative to really focus my breath after a post-workout, getting it down, stretching or driving. I was like literally meditating when we were driving because, city of Chicago traffic is nuts.
Yeah,
no matter what time of day. Right. But doing that, like keeping the cool, like meditating. I'm like, okay, like, oh, missed a turn because I couldn't get over. Okay, cool. Going up.
Yeah, dude.
Crap, big deal. Go up, turn around, do what we got to do. But I've been doing it more in the sense of in the moment. Of
so more
life.
Integrated.
Yeah. So not like, oop, I'm going to set out 10, 20, 30 minutes to listen to the app or do this. It's a good time right now. I'm just going to meditate.
Those are the times I use to practice, like, or try to integrate and implement or whatever. I've been still using the app, but I've got to say that with Sam, he loves to interject. And there's times when I'm like maybe a few minutes into a really good spell of nothing but me and my internal darkness. Yeah. And it interrupts me.
And it kicks you.
It kicks you. And it's like, I'm better at ignoring him, but why am I listening to somebody's app if I'm going to ignore them? Like, that's like, I have to figure out what I want.
I do that a lot if I do it post-workout when I'm doing like my controlled breathing, holding water in my mouth or breathing. Like the other day I did 10 miles on the bike with water in my mouth.
No kidding.
Yeah. Rode pretty hard. So I knocked out 10 miles in like, 25 some minutes. It was going pretty tough and kept it,
That's
hardest
crazy.
part is you got to swallow a little bit because you're just putting saliva back in. So it's like,
right. Yeah.
If not, you're going to look like you're spewing out.
Right.
But like getting done working out, I'll do some breathing control. And sometimes I'll just lay flat, like sprawled out on the floor and I'll do his. And I get so zoned out. I'll hear his voice in the first couple minutes and then it goes to that silence moment. And then I'm just like, and then he'll speak and I have no clue what he says. Yeah. And then he's like, all right, in the final minute here. And I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Dude, what did you say? And that's good and bad because you are getting so good at your meditative skills that you can block out things.
Yes.
But you're also then not doing what you're saying.
The curriculum.
You're not following the T.
Right.
So, And that's hard because I get so out of it. Like, that's why I liked WIMS, because it focused, because I was breathing. You have to, because you're following a breathing pattern. But then, too, when the breathing stops and you're doing your breath hold, it's just like, cool,
totally.
I'm gone.
Yeah.
You know, so it's an easy thing to do, and it's not.
Yeah.
So I think you just kind of got to fine-tune. But that's why I like trying to meditate in the moment of doing things, because can I be quiet and still in doing something? Like we said before, like doing meditation and being still, good. Meditating and being active and moving, now that is true meditation.
That's art right there, buddy.
I can't remember who said the quote, but, you know, if you can do things and meditate at the same time, that's it. So I try to think of, like, when I'm doing work, being meditative, like doing payroll today, being in that meditative state of, because I had a few distractions, no big deal, had a lot to do today, but, like, got in the rhythm and just meditated. Like, I'm just flowing.
Yeah, dude.
I hear nothing outside my office. I didn't close the door. I don't hear the TV in the lobby. I don't hear the people coming and going. I don't hear the class. I heard nothing.
Right.
And just get done, and I'm like, oh, cool, knocked it out.
Yeah.
The guy goes, oh, man, you got it done. I'm like, yeah, you know. He goes, but to me, like, nothing else existed in the world at that time.
Right. Yeah, dude.
And it's just one of those things with anything, like, it's good and it's bad to be able to do that.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I said before, too. Like, I've done it while driving, but you got to be.
Yeah.
That's not one I would recommend
to have a boundary there.
Anyone. You got to be very.
Right.
You got to be, like, so self-aware of everything going on at the same time while doing something. I would not recommend that.
Yeah. I've been there before. It wasn't that I was trying to go into, like, some trance. It was that I was focused on one object, and other things come to the periphery. They're going to. Like, you're going to see other things. You're going to hear things and think things that aren't really yours to think, right? They're just sort of there. They just appear in your consciousness. But you're going to find that after a while, you're in this comfort zone of not thinking and being aware at the same time. It's, I would know if you spoke to me, and I would know if I had to apply my brakes. But I'm ignoring everything else. Yeah. Right? It's beautiful. It's a really neat thing to be able to do.
Yeah. And that's kind of what, like Alan Watts, you know, talks about from translating a lot of the Eastern stuff, and the Taoists and the Buddhists, and, you know, a lot of the Zen stuff from Japanese, is trying to completely clear the mind of no thought, no nothing, is truly when you are at nirvana, enlightenment, or Buddha to their extent. And, like, I put in, like, my quotes today that I do, like Alan talking about being completely removed from the world, no senses, no nothing, like, and when you can completely remove yourself and be, like, free of thought, it's when your, like, senses come alive to the world.
Totally.
You do.
Yeah.
And that's one of those things when meditating is, can you eventually get to that point to remove the thought process? If you had a bad day, you're in a, you know, it's been a shitty week, can you remove yourself and thought to not sit there and go, okay, I'm going to sit and close my eyes and, you know, meditate and clear my mind. And all you're doing on is something.
Yeah.
And it takes practice. It's not an easy feat, but
yeah,
I've slowly noticed that by doing the meditation just at random, doing activities, when I am doing meditation and being still, I can, like, you know, like if you're pouring water in a glass, that water just washed everything out. It's like turn on a hose. My brain just, like, thoughts go out.
Yeah. That's how I felt after that pranic healing session with Nate Ferguson. It felt like I'd just been cleaned out.
Yeah.
Like there was this void of anything there was no anxiety. There was no worry. There was no guilt, no shame, no nothing. It was just free and clear, man. It was like, you know, no emotional debt whatsoever. It was just clean slate. Very similar, I'm sure. Yeah.
It's one of those practice though, but that's the hardest thing is I think as a human is to turn off the mind, because now more so than ever, back when Buddhist, Taoist, Zen, all this stuff was going on, they didn't have half the stuff that we did, you know?
Right, man.
Writing was only a few people could, you know, and like people who would paint like with sumi ink and those kind of things, that was a form of Zen, or like haikus and poetry.
Yeah.
People who became masters of art forms, which we're not kind of a society of that anymore. We can say we're masters of certain things and stuff like that, but in all reality, that's not all you do all day for most people. So like we don't have that focus of being able to, fine line watch the brushstroke and just be, that's all that's going on.
Yeah.
Most people are like, oh, I'm painting. Oh, I got to pay the bill tomorrow. Did I do that? Oh, I better respond. Like,
It's
your
so
brain is
hard.
picking out everything else. And I think that's a big issue for most people to clear the mind and remove themselves from that kind of darkness, like we were kind of talking about to begin with, is
yeah, I think so.
how do you remove yourself from those times? Might have a 1 week window where you're in it, maybe a day or two, or maybe it's longer. How do you, quote unquote, turn the light on to shed yourself from that darkness?
Well, okay, this is perfect, man. A great segue. I think that when you find yourself in those dark times where, it doesn't matter if Jeff was to call me and, somebody else was to stop by, nobody's going to pull me out of it until I'm ready to come out of it, whatever that depression is or that funk or whatever you want to call it. But with the meditation, it really does help to lessen that length of time that it takes you to realize you're in a funk.
Mm-hmm.
Not just I'm pissed off at somebody or something, or I'm upset about somebody or something. Now it's more about I felt a feeling. I know what that feeling is. I know what that feeling used to do to me, but now I'm just going to live with that feeling for a minute, and I'm going to acknowledge that it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as it doesn't require immediate action, I'm just going to let it go.
That's a difficult thing, and to kind of piggyback on that to make it even more difficult for the mind here is, so let's take when you're in a dark place. Let's pick one emotion.
Anger.
Anger. Okay, let's use anger. So if I say anger to you, more than likely you're going to be like, oh, darkness, bad.
Yeah.
Okay, you say anger to somebody else. Oh, I'm going to fight. Anger, I'm mad. Something bad happened to me. There's many definitions to anger, but more people jump to one, just aspect of it.
Sure.
Someone pissed me off. Probably is going to be the majority of the thing that people would jump to, I'd probably say, is
right.
Who angered me,
Right. But anger is also anchored in fear.
Yes. So then you got to take it back, and go from, it's not just that. It's other elements that make it up. Because a lot of people always want to, I think, assimilate when they're going through a bad time to just one kind of emotion.
Yeah.
No different. So we'll pull it from away for a bit here. So when you see this, what is that to you?
Jug of water.
Okay. Storage. What else could it be?
A weapon.
Good.
Yeah. It could be a weight.
Weight.
Yeah.
Paperweight.
Yeah.
Anchor. It could be, so we can go.
Yeah.
So the whole point of when you guys are looking at your emotions or anything is, don't see it for just the one thing that it is. When you look at a water bottle, think of something like that, or a pencil. Don't just look at it. All it is, that's a pencil.
Right.
But it can be used for so much more. And I think that's where the human psyche and mind gets so, how do you say it here? Kind of so lost in itself, is that we only see the things for the one object, one side that they are.
Yeah.
We forget that I can turn this. Oh, it holds water. I could hold food.
Right.
I could use as a weight. I could use as a weapon. Flotation. If I emptied it,
right.
What could it do? We forget to see that there are more sides than to anger. Okay, well, if I turn to this side, I'm sad. Okay, well, if I turn to the next side, okay, I'm angry and sad. Well, I'm kind of happy too. Okay, well, what caused the anger and the sadness, but what is the happy still hanging? We forget to kind of turn this emotional dice to see these different sides than to see that, okay, it's not so bad.
Yeah.
I still have these other emotions. I'm just letting this one win because, anger, that trumps everything. Why?
Yeah.
Because that's all you see and kind of let it go.
So earlier I'd said something, I think you piggybacked on it, that, anger is anchored in fear, right? That's where it comes from, basically. That's what keeps it around. So I play this little game with myself sometimes, like being my own therapist is what I call it, I guess. So I say, okay, I'm angry about something. Okay, so why am I angry? Well, I'm angry because I'm upset. I'm mad. Well, yeah, but what's making you angry? Well, okay, my wife is continuing to do something that I've asked her numerous times not to. It's making me mad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then you're afraid that she's going to keep doing this? Okay, yeah, that's it. I'm scared that she's not going to stop and I'm going to feel like this forever. Okay, so would you admit that right before you felt like this, you didn't feel like this? Oh, shit. Yeah, so you're saying that you can be okay and you don't rely on her and what she does or doesn't do for happiness.
And that,
holy fuck, dude. Like when you can really analyze your shit to that nth of a degree and be honest about it, be really fucking honest, dude, you can't help but circle back the wagon and go, it's all me. And I am in control of all of this.
And that's where if you let your emotions be controlled by someone else's actions, you are now they are now in control of you.
Yeah.
And that's so true. Like, if someone swerves in front of you and you get angry, they are now in control of you because your emotions just flip from normal calm. So if your wife does something you don't like, or your kid, your coworker, whatever, you are now at their whim. You are a quote unquote their puppet.
Yeah, right.
And there are certain people that will manipulate emotions of others, which is sad. And we know how to press each other's buttons, especially those who are really close to each other.
Sure.
And it does happen. But those who do it all the time, obviously, you remove yourself from that toxicity. But for the most part, if you let someone else take control of you and your emotions constantly go, they control you at every whim. And they know if they really want to, okay, if I do this, I get them to here, and then I can get them to do this.
Right.
People aren't dumb. People play people every day in the world, sadly, and so many people play off other humans' emotions.
And, the sad thing is that when we don't control something as humans, it makes us angry. It makes us fearful. It makes us prideful. It makes us shameful. All these things, right? Because you're not controlling it. But when you just let go of the leashes, if you will, and you sort of let yourself fall back and that trust fall or trust catch or whatever they used to call it when we were kids, when you can just let go like that emotionally and mentally, you realize that control that you wanted, it's not worth shit.
Mm-hmm.
Control does nothing for any of us. Control it's a farce.
Yeah.
It's just this human construct that we've made to make us feel more safe or more secure. We control something. But we don't fucking control nothing more than right here. Mm-hmm. And not because we don't want to, because we all want to.
Yeah.
But what do we fucking control? I can't make you do anything. You can't make me do anything.
No. And that kind of brings me into we had a new person coming to the gym today, potentially wanting to join our rock study. So it's a boxing program for those who suffer from Parkinson's or
I've read about it.
Neurological disorders. It allows good motor control. And something I said that we do is we have a Tai Chi instructor, and so he's going to start once, twice a month. He'll start working in some of the classes, do some Tai Chi. And those of you who don't know Tai Chi, it's a martial art. It's very slow moving. Yep. It really slows you down. So most people you've seen karate or, jujitsu now and anything, it's fast. Very rarely do you see it in slow-mo. Tai Chi is very slow, fluid movements. If you're doing strikes, it's
right.
There's a lot more intent and purpose. Not to say that other arts don't, but there's Tai Chi walking that you actually are feeling the full displacement of the foot. I shift. I'm balanced. I put the other. I'm talking very slow walking, as if you were recovering from a surgery type of thing and you're up walking for the first time. And I go, oh, she goes, I don't like Tai Chi. And I go, why? It's too slow for me. I got to move fast. And I go, and she was in a boot, different thing, just a unfortunate thing in her foot. And I go, have you ever fallen before? Yeah. You ever tripped? Yeah. Stumbled? Yeah, me too. You know why? Moving too fast.
Yeah.
It's not that we fall because we're, clumsy. Right. It's we're moving too fast that we can't catch ourselves. Yeah. We are off balance. That is the most of the time when people fall is they are off balance and the body goes, oh shit, here we go. We fall. And so Tai Chi is slowed down. And I explained to her well, that's your first mistake. And it all depends on the instructor, but Tai Chi is meant to be slowed down to show the purpose of every movement of what we do.
Yeah.
I could go lightning speed and grab this. Well, I might just hit this, bash it into here, take out Jesus, hit the board.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
but if I move with intent to grab my water, okay, I got to grip on it here, transfer it,
Yeah.
it's intent. So like something I would encourage you guys to do, it's very hard to explain this, but I'll do my best, is think about something with intent. Do your walking.
Yeah.
When you're walking, as you put one foot down and you shift, see if you can shift all of your weight to the right side, but be balanced. You have to pause. You should be able to pick up the left and you could just like scoot it across the floor. I could just swing my leg like this and I could put it down in front and I shift to that left side and I should be able to take the right side and sway. It's a slow process, but if you can think of each footstep with intent, as I place my feet, I walk, you will find that you're less likely to have those mishaps, those trips, those falls,
Yeah.
because you're in a rush. And what most people don't realize is we're always in a rush. We're always wanting immediate, satisfaction and gratification. And I think that ties in perfectly that everything we try and do, it's this emotion, it's, whoa, balance.
Yeah. Sure.
Hold on. And I'm guilty of it. I'm not going to say that I don't have a moment where my anger or an emotion gets the best of me, but if you think of everything in a slow motion, an intent, am I balanced as I do it? Man, I think it would just blow people's mind. And it's hard. And I hear most of you guys listening like, this dude's nuts. If you want, I don't know, I don't have a link or anything to say, but maybe Google like Tai Chi walking and you can watch someone do it. It's a big thing like the Taoists do. And a lot of the movements of working the meridian lines, your lines that like acupuncture that go to the lungs, the heart and all that, and movement of the organs and things, but like purposeful, slow movements which engage. It's kind of like a warm-up.
Yeah.
Most people don't go, marathon, here we go. Open the door, hit the watch, 26.2. Good luck.
Yeah.
God, I'd be dead.
Yeah. I think, I also think that I would be dead. There's no doubt about it. But to add to that, if you think that you have control or you don't have control, okay, and then you learn to live your life with balance, right?
Key.
So you live your life, the food, the alcohol, the water, the working out, the reading, meditating, walking, family time, personal time, that balance that you need to help you place those metaphorically, more metaphorical feet in front of the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Once you find that balance, you'll learn a kind of control that you never knew before.
Yes.
It's not that you think you have control. It's that you're actually able to control your own mind and body so much that there is no other control that you could ever want. That need to make somebody else do something or somebody else to treat you a certain way, that shit goes away.
Dude, you tie that in perfectly with something I read this morning. And we talked about the yin and the yang. So the yin, is the, I'm going to get it wrong now, the positive, or yang. Either way,
Sure.
Yin and the yang. Traditionally, you got the white and the black, and then a little bit of the white and the black in each. Mm-hmm. Well, they showed the true balanced is the white and the black, the big, the circles of opposite colors in each. Then around that, you have a little line of the original positive or negative.
Oh, okay.
So another around the little.
Sure.
And then there's another one. And so instead of the yin and the yang being the nice, kind of circle, still circle, but everything's now broken kind of into geometric kind of like squares.
Right, right.
And then another one is swirled through each other. And so the one talks about being like stagnant and not being fluid and balanced, that you're kind of always in this swirl and stagnant, that nothing is kind of progressing. So it just kind of sits like this, and you kind of see it's pretty cool. I'll have to find him so we can kind of show him. And the other one's kind of like mixed, like you're not quite there. And it, goes back to that traditional yin and yang of positive, negative, the male, the female, that this is where you should always be.
Yeah.
Even if it's bad and good, it should always be that kind of 50-50 split or whatever.
Yeah, I do that nature and grace, right?
And so it kind of really flowed into that of talking about like exactly what you said of you're always going to be in this hurry, you're always going to be off balance, and slowing that down to where are you?
Yeah.
Like if we had to draw a line and say this is our life in a balance beam, where do you fall? Are you more here on a tipping point of bad? Obviously, you can say you're on a tipping point of really, really good, which no, you're dead center.
Yeah, you could be obsessed.
So you're either, and I would say that. So obsessive in a bad way, but
Right.
good to some, bad and it's just like, oh man, life's been bad. Or are you right in that middle?
Yeah.
Life is a true, like, it works perfectly. It's a balancing act, but that a whole emotional train, man, it's like, if you can't grasp those and pull those and.
Well, we have to stop thinking too, and I say this, it's like some like vision of grandeur or something, but if we could all stop looking at things as good and bad, as one is better and one is worse, then there are two sides to the coin. And if that coin's in your pocket, you got both. That's all there is to it. You're always going to have bad. You're always going to have good. Stop getting so fucking excited and act like you've been there before when you're glad. Don't make it too much. Don't act like you're on top of the fucking mountain when you ain't. You're just living a good life.
Yeah.
So that when it's bad, you don't feel like you're in the fucking trenches. You just feel like you hit a bump.
Dude, you're like
right
in my damn head right now. It's crazy because
Nice.
to the same thing of you get the coin. So let's kind of take that and we'll flip it. In a sense is when you climb the mountain, you are as much climbing the mountain as the mountain is climbing you.
Yeah.
It's a two-part thing. When you go to flip that coin, you are much of it is either. The coin can't flip without you. Some object's going to have to hit it.
Yeah.
Of your doing, dropping. So you are much a part of it as you to make it happen. So
yeah,
you have both sides. It is part of you, and same forth as when you walk, the ground is a part of you because without the ground, you would just fall.
Yeah.
There would be nothing to push back again, that whole gravity thing. So it's a good way of that balance of looking at, oh, I got a coin. Cool. I got a heads and a tails, or just, I have a coin. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can acknowledge that you're good and bad, right? You can acknowledge that you've got two parts to you, but you have to also acknowledge that those two parts make up a whole.
Yeah.
And that whole is you. So if you want to deny all the bad and deny everything that's gotten you down over the years, or that's hindered your progress, or whatever you want to call it, then you're denying yourself. You're denying your own fucking existence by acting like that shit's not there, or it doesn't matter, or it wasn't a part of creating who you are.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just keep focusing on all the good, because when you do that, you're creating a make-believe world. And that's when you start getting into mental illness. Mm-hmm. That's when you start getting into depression, because no expectation can ever match up to that shit that's in your head.
You're trying to create a fantasy that just isn't going to
You're not
true.
fucking
Like
90210 or
daydreaming life.
Fucking, you're not a TV show. You're not a movie. You're not. When these books are written and these movies and these shows are made, they take all of the best or all of the worst to make it. You don't ever see the in-between. You don't get to see when somebody's dealing with shit. We don't get fed any of that. So we start expecting, and no fault of our own, but we start expecting that our life should be good then bad. Mm-hmm. Bad, and then it better get a lot better.
Well, and that's what
I mean.
So many people.
It's not just a ride.
Do, and they think that, oh, it's good. Bad's coming. Why? Why does bad have to come? Why can't you think that, man, life is meant to be good?
Yeah.
I was talking with the guy today that teaches karate at our gym, and I was like, hey, Fred, man, I hope you have a wonderful day. It was good talking to you. He goes, you have a great day. And he goes, all right, what did I say? I said, have a wonderful day. And he goes, that's all I'll ever do.
Yeah.
And this dude has been through some stuff.
Yeah.
And could literally hate the world with some of the things that happened to him.
Yeah.
And the dude always has the best attitude. And I literally hung up the phone with him. I'm like, man, it is always so good to talk to that man. Like, it just, even if it was like a short conversation, just kind of catching up on some stuff, things we just need to do. And I'm like, man,
right.
His attitude and outlook. And the dude, most of the time, is on crutches with some leg issues and stuff that he suffered from. He's a badass martial artist, but the reality is too, like, to say, have a wonderful day. I've never had a bad one.
Right. There's things like
he has
that catch you.
Had bad days, guaranteed. But his outlook is, I've never had one.
Right.
To think that if we look at our lives from one till now, the day one till now, I've never had a bad day.
Right.
Now people are like, dude, you're an idiot. Now we could teach it and use this as a teaching moment. I've never had a bad day. Yeah, you have. Those bad days, those were really good days. Those were life lessons.
Yeah.
Those were the hard days of learning, but it was a good day.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's
wonderful.
It's a crazy spin on it. And that hit me today when I got off the phone with him. I was like, man, dude, he's fun to talk to. Like, he's just energy, and he could be just a crabby person for the cards that have been dealt to him, but he isn't. He enjoys life. He's blessed. He always is. And it's like something to strive for. I even said to myself after, like, you know, things I can try and do better and think, okay, it wasn't a bad day. It was a lesson day.
Right. Yeah.
And lessons teach us, which make us smarter, which make us better. You know, that is a good day. That you're learning is a good day. So I was like, man, okay.
Yeah, dude.
It's pretty good. It was crazy, but it's
nice. You know,
y'all might listen to it and think we're nuts, but it's a good way I think you can spin some stuff to really help yourself mindset.
It's amazing what you can repeat, or how repeating something to yourself or to others can change your mindset. So for that gentleman to say that, he is reaffirmating his own beliefs by stating that to you, but he's also hoping that by saying that to you, it triggers something inside of you that goes, I want to feel that way too.
And it did. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
I got a big L desk. My phone's over here. I turn. I put his business card back where I had it. Put him on. I'm like, man, it's so good to talk to Fred.
Yes.
And then I went about what I was doing, and I had a smirk on my face. So big. And now, you know, I'm telling about it, which is cool that this all happened. It's kind of crazy because everything we talked about, too, that I read today, I actually read this morning.
Yeah, well, that's good. I'm glad we could help you out there.
You know, like, how kind of falls, but, like, it truly is to think, like, so I hope you guys take what he said and think of even a bad day as a good day, because it's like a lesson day.
Yeah, it's just a day. And the things that happen in it, however they make you feel, that's up to you. You know, you cut a finger off, it sucks. That sucks. But you didn't cut off 5, you didn't cut off 10,
As
you
a
didn't
Stoic
die.
would say, you still have 9 more.
That's right.
Or what's his face from 300?
Oh,
Lost his eye. The gods have blessed me with another. Whatever he said, one more. I haven't seen in a while, but
yeah, it's good.
That's true.
Yeah, you know, I got something that I say to other people, and I've done it now for quite a few years. I had an older Navy veteran that used to say it, and you know, where he got it, I believe he got it from somebody that's got some fame or recognition. I don't know, but it stuck with me. And what it is when somebody says, "How are you doing?" My almost baked in response now, because it's gotten to be such a habit and such a reaffirmation, is better than I deserve. And it does a couple things again, right? It allows me to make sure that I know, hey, I've got it made. I'm doing pretty well. And it lets other people know that I'm humble. I'm not trying to get one over on you. I'm not trying to be funny or be a smartass. It introduces empathy in both directions. It humanizes both people. It does so much just by saying that, and people always react in the same way. And it's always this like really sort of coy, like, oh, well, that's such a wonderful thing of you to say. And it's like, yeah, good. I'm glad it resonates with you.
Yeah.
Because I think that when it does, it changes your day. Just like you said earlier, when you're sitting at your desk after that conversation, you're like, man, I feel wonderful.
Yeah. It's those things that, like, little twist of making the good out of what the bad could be. That's all it really is. And
that's what builds camaraderie.
That's all any emotion is finding some way to twist it, which sounds weird, but that's all it is.
Yeah.
Is trickery to your own mind to do it. Like in the book of What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. By Dr. Saeed Helmstetter.
In the middle of reading that right now.
What he talks about, you're breaking these habits and you're having to have these internal talks to you. It's almost like tricking yourself to do these things.
Yeah.
You know, so if you're trying to say like, I never had bad days. If that's what it takes to hear that over and over and over, to have it printed, that you read it on your mirror, then it's on your car, then it's at your desk, then it's like maybe that's on your phone. If that's what it takes, everyone has their favorite quotes and things, you know, like, hell, I got one tattooed on my chest. Like, you know, those things, like you have those things. they will. When you read them or you see it, it'll eventually bring a different emotion, and that brings that happiness, that brings that smile.
Yeah, man.
Find those words, those key phrases, or that one quote or several quotes or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a song. Find those things that pull that out of you, because that's all it should be.
Man.
It's really taking your brain from, in a science aspect, is getting the hormones and the endorphins to line up right to get back to happy mode. That's all it really is.
And you do have to trick yourself, trust me, because I was just in this very space not 2 weeks ago, where I woke up one morning and it was probably my third or fourth day in a row of thinking, fuck, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to ship out products. I don't want to make products. I don't want to record a podcast. I don't want to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And what I said to myself was, the answer is right through the pain. So you have to get up and you have to go work out.
Well, yeah, that's
or go for a walk.
That's true with anything.
And I tell you what, it's not just in books, guys and gals. It fucking works. Because after that, I was a whole new man. And guess what? The next fucking day was better.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't sit there and give in to that woe is me shit that we can all do.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I'd say
man.
that's a great book. Again, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself by Dr. Saeed Helmstetter. Great book, cheap on Amazon.
Yeah.
I'd buy it. Phenomenal book. That's what one of my coaches read over and over and over, and great book to read. I think it really does. And that's something like he used to say too, to kind of piggyback on everything we said. Is a thing you can YouTube Justin Thacker, best day ever, and it should pull up, and it's him in his old office. We got a brick background, and he's talking about the best day ever. Waking up, let's bullshit. Yeah, I'm tired. I got up at this hour. I didn't sleep enough. I didn't get enough food. But if you tell yourself it's going to be the best day ever, you already set the tone for the day to put your mind into that.
Yeah.
So no matter what kick-started prior to that, and he even goes, I know it's complete bullshit, but it's a way of thinking to make life better and put you in that realm of it's going to be the best day ever.
Yeah. The poor people, that myself included, and I'm sure you at one point have all been in that position where it's my fucking life. It sucks. I got to get up tomorrow, go to work. I hate my fucking job. Got to come home. Wife's bitching. Kids are bitching. Whatever it is you want to say. We've all been through it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot more to that story than what you're allowing yourself to view. There's the whole me, the whole I side of that is allowing your day to suck.
Mm-hmm.
That's allowing you to only see it in one way. And I don't mean that the grass is always green where you're standing, because it's not. But when you can realize that you are in control of how you feel about your situation and the whys and the hows and all those particulars, that's when you realize that you've found balance. That's when you realize that you're no longer having to jump over fences, because you can look right down the lane and see that there's an opening.
Mm-hmm.
You can walk through it. You don't have to climb over it and rip your favorite fucking pants. You start to realize that there's another way.
Mm-hmm.
There's you can be the water.
Yeah.
You really can be the water. You don't have to be the prickly fucking pear, or whatever, your porcupine ass.
Yeah.
There's an easier way, and it's right through the shit that you're telling yourself is stopping you. You gotta go right through. It's just like I've said before on here. Back when I was in training in my Air Force days, and we would work on convoy operations and getting pinned up by somebody, and what do you do? And it's always straight through. It's never around. It's never backing up. It's never stopping. It's straight fucking through. So when you feel like shit, the answer is straight through the shit. It really is.
Shortest path to the finish line. It's a straight line.
That's right. There's a lot of resistance. And there's days where in the past where my head was connected to my body so tightly that if my head didn't want me to move, I wasn't going to.
Mm-hmm.
But I finally realized that my body it's there to serve me.
Yeah.
So if I want that fucking thing to move, it's going to move, God damn it.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah, man. So amen to that.
No, it's very good. Good point. It's a good way to put it too.
Yeah. Well, whether you stay in the dark, you stay in the light, you can think you're wrong or right, and you're right either way.
Oh yeah.
It's all a matter of what we do with it in the moment. And, it's funny when you start to let shit roll off your back like water on a duck, you stop remembering all the bad shit. So your self-talk becomes a little more lighthearted.
Mm-hmm.
Your self-doubt becomes a little less often. You start to realize that I'm forming a habit of feeling better, right? It's not by accident, though.
No,
through fucking hard work.
It's a habit, just like bettering your fitness, changing your diet. It's a habit that it just takes time. And I will say the habit of the mind is going to be the hardest thing you'll ever have to do. I'll say going to run a marathon would be 10 times easier than trying to retrain your mind to outdo the things of my 37 years, you're 44, however old you are, whomever you are listening. It'll be way easier for you to go do a physical feat that you've never done before than it is to retrain your mind.
Yeah, man.
Hands down. Because it won't be, there's no, okay, I'll do this today. Okay, and I'll do that tomorrow. No, because you'll do those things every day and it'll go right out the window. Yeah. And you'll have to start back over again. You know, it's not like, doing a run, training for a race. Okay, this week's this many. Nope. The brain will wash everything you try to do right out the window, and you got to start over from scratch at any moment's notice.
Ain't that the damnedest truth, man? Because you and I, many a times, have been well on our path, and our journey has been good and well lit, and all of a sudden you get fucking knocked right off of it, and you're like looking a week behind you going, man, I've been a fucking asshole all week. Yeah. You know? Or you don't, and you're even more of an asshole.
Yeah, and it's just a matter of, okay, if you want to use the mountain metaphor, okay, I was just up there. All right, here we go.
Yeah,
one foot in front of the other.
I know that path.
And it's going the path that you just did, and it's redoing those same things that you were telling yourself, the things you were talking in your mind, whatever you were doing, it's doing those over and over and over and over again.
Yep.
It's the hardest battle that we will hit in life.
Yeah. It's such a simplistic way to look at it, but it's so true.
Yeah.
It's doing these things through repetition, just like the things that were done to you that pissed you off were through repetition.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't fucking hate your boss one day because he was a dick.
Yeah. Well, it's usually not for most people. You don't have some animosity to another person. Just typically, no.
Yeah, immaturity can cause that, but it usually goes away pretty quickly.
It's something that, okay.
Yeah.
Did it again. Okay, did it again. Oh, now you're doing this. Okay, don't like that. Doing this. It builds, and it's kind of like, check. All those boxes are checked. Well, you're just an asshole. I just don't like you.
Totally, man.
And there are those people that will be those in you because you don't agree with how they align. Even if, like we were saying before, you're letting your emotions control you because of what they do, there'll be certain people that will just be not good people in your book, and no matter what they do, it'll anger you even if you don't let them, because things they do you just completely don't agree with.
Yeah, totally. And those people, you can divorce those people. Like I really believe that if you have people that you get angry every time, even though you're doing your best not to, and it just keeps, it's awry for whatever reason, I really think that you can say, you know what, that's fine. We just
remove the
toxicness again. I'm not going to contact you. If you contact me, I'll be cordial, but I'm not going out of my way to help you anymore. I'm not, whatever it is, you make me crazy. You make me fucking batshit crazy, so I can't continue this. And that's no different than if you're in a toxic relationship with a marriage or a friendship or, whatever, sexual relationship, whatever you may be. If it's not working for you, you better fucking address it. And you better start coming up with a plan, because you can't just stay in it and be miserable. That's where we all go wrong. We all just think that we have to be miserable. You don't have to be miserable. You can be plenty happy. You may even be happy with the person you're with or in the situation you're in if you could just make yourself happy.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
Just make yourself happy. You can't sit here and tell me, well, I'm not happy because all these people and this job. No. Why aren't you happy? Well,
find the root.
Find the root why you're not happy. What do you have to get to be happy?
And then backtrack from there.
Yeah. That's right. You can start realizing there that you're the dumbass that stepped off your journey.
Yep.
You stepped off your path. You jumped over there in the prickly thorns and got your ass handed to you, and then you got mad at the thorn bush.
You're dragging your ass through it all.
and you're the one doing it.
Yep. Man, well said.
Right. So anyway,
Very well. Very well.
yeah, man. It's not something that I think anybody's going to tell you to go think about, but it's just one of the many things that I think that Jeff and I like to think that maybe you'll go and think about is how can you become more introspective and realize that you're the root of most of your problems.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say that to somebody and make them think like, oh, well, now you're telling me I'm a dick or I'm an asshole, whatever. Well, to yourself, you probably are.
Yeah.
And you just don't realize it. You're probably pissing yourself off every day and you're just you're using other things as a scapegoat.
Yeah.
It's easy to do. It's real easy to do, man.
It's easy to pawn emotions, things that are going off onto something else. It's easy to pass the blame.
It really is, especially when you're the one that's to blame.
Mm-hmm.
Our egos take really good care of us. I've said it in the past. I've thanked mine. I've apologized to it, but it's there to protect us.
Oh, yeah.
But if you let it coddle you and you let it make you think that you're deserving of a great day or you deserve to have your expectations met without any effort,
yeah,
well, you're going to live the life that most of us have been living, right? You're going to live a life of
not really going forward.
Nah.
You are, in a sense. I'd say you're moving laterally in life.
It's almost like you're taking 1,000 steps in every direction, and the only time you move is when something hits you really hard, and you have to move. Stop fucking moving 1,000 directions. Slow yourself down. Find balance, and then regain some of that control that you never known but always thought you had. Right?
True.
Something like that.
I agree.
Something like that.
I agree.
So preach on, right?
Always.
Yeah, man. So cool. Well, hey, it's a good day. I don't think I need to preach anymore.
I think we preached enough.
I think we did. It's a good day. Guys, again, thank you for joining us on this little journey. And
Always,
we
guys.
sure
Thank
do
you.
appreciate you and look forward to having you back here with us next time. And if you can't always watch us, you can always listen to us on like the iTunes and Android and Spotify and all that good stuff. So
listen away. We spend most of our lives, sadly, in a car near a phone. We can't always watch. So
yeah,
easiest
absolutely.
way.
Absolutely. Cool. So, hey, we love you and we thank you again. And, we'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Peace.